like to help the conversation to actually be meaningful. I get to me. So don't ever end the speech without, do you want people to clap at the end of the speech? Do you want people to clap at the end of the speech, or do you want people to stand? There must be something that you will say that will make them stand. And then you get to church and the pastor comes up and after preaching, he starts saying, if you know it, that you believe it, that you are going to get it, you jump up and shout. People will jump up and shout. I get me. These are things that will make people want to. It makes it meaningful. I get me. At the end of the day, people will not forget. Do you know? People remember more the end, the closure of your speech than the beginning. Even though they will remember, even as but they will remember more the closure. So you need to always try to end your speech with the right context so that people can actually key into what you are saying. So that is that on and also this is a very important point that I'm going to give in to you, and this is important. Write with a visible figure in your mind. Write with an invisible figure in your mind. Now, I am talking. I don't know as much as many people I am talking to. Now, I know probably I might be talking to someone abroad, someone in Germany, someone in Nigeria, which I do most times. So I might not know, but I don't care whatever location. Now, what I'm bothered about is you. So I when I was putting up this thing, I had you in mind that I was talking to one person. It might be I'm talking to everybody. I am talking to one person right now. And so that is what I'm doing. So I am writing with you in view. So I am talking to you like as if I am sitting with you in your room. And that is why I'm not saying everybody. No, I am talking to you. And because the reason why I'm talking to you that way is because when I was writing this speech, I wrote with you in mind. I get me. I wrote with you in mind. Because I believe that when you talk to one person, you discover at the end of the day, many people will come to you and say, yeah, you spoke into my heart. You spoke into my heart. It's like as if you're speaking to me. Like you're speaking to me. Like that is what people tell you. Because you had them in mind when you were crafting it. Okay. So that is that. And so I've been talking about this and I've been trying to make you understand. We recap. I started with the law of attraction and attention, and I told you what the law of attraction is all about. I told you how to put it in your sentence, your words, in your communication with people, and then I moved over to simple speech writing techniques, and I know it will help you. And then now, I'll be going to something I'll call mastering spontaneity. Now, there's this thing we need to understand in life, that there are some things that happen without planned, that you don't plan this thing. There are so many things that happen in life that you don't plan. So how do you face those situations? Now you are speaking, you are talking, and you discover that somebody says something from you. How do you respond? I get to me. What do you say back? Now I might be talking more to the comedians now, but the thing is this: I am talking to you because as a public speaker, there are so many situations you face that you do not expect. You did not plan it. You never expected that somebody or something like that will happen. And that's what I'm going to be talking about. Now, what is spontaneity? Spontaneity is a display of conscious thoughts. Of unconscious thoughts. It's a display of unconscious thoughts. Now, things you never plan to happen, it just comes up. I get to me, and it's just like what you say when you don't even plan it. So that is spontaneity. So how do you master spontaneity? I remember something that happened some time ago. I had to when I was a comedian. I remember then I would just came on stage and people were, I was cracking my joke and nobody was laughing. But at that moment that nobody was laughing, I get to me. What I would have done was to use something in the crowd to make them laugh. At least I know that they will laugh with something they are seeing presently. than what they are not seeing. Now, my joke probably was something that happened somewhere. I'm telling the story of maybe something that happened to me. They might not really laugh to as much as what is happening at that moment. Okay, so they might not laugh to as much as what is happening at that moment. So that is it. So one of the things about mastering spontaneity, number one thing to do to master spontaneity, number one, be a voracious reader. Now you need to know how to read. Be someone that reads a lot. And when I say read a lot, some people say, but I read now. Kiniko. Like I know some people say I don't like reading. Now let me help you. Read everything positive that your eyes comes in contact with. Now it will help you. Now I also say how to be a voracious reader is to know a bit of everything. Now don't be a pork noser. Some people say, I don't like pork nosing. Listen carefully. You need to know about every single thing. Like a bit, not everything, but a bit of everything. It will help you in situations that you never expected would happen. I get to me. It will help you in situations that you never expected to happen. Now, this is my own personal method, and that's what I want to tell you. My own personal method is that I love reading newspapers, and amazingly, I love reading posters. These are two things I love reading: newspapers and posters. Newspapers and posters. So it's squared, right? Now, there are people. I'm not an old man, so so you ask me, why is it I love reading newspapers? I don't like reading other books like that. It's not all motivational books I read, and I will not advise you to read all motivational books. But this is this: you need to be smart about what you read. I get to me. The information you put in your mind, because at the long run, it is the information you put in your mind that displays itself in situations you never expected. I get to me. So that is it. So sometimes you ask me about the current happening in Nigeria. I think I can tell you. You know why? Not because I don't watch the news, but I read news. So it's not that I even read everything, but I just speak a bit of probably the, what do you call it, the headline. The headline is okay for me. I don't need other things. The headline is okay for me. And that's just my own personal method. Then posters. There's another thing I do. Like, I read a lot of posters. I am always reading posters. Like I don't know. My eye cannot pass poster and don't look at it. Whether it is a religious, whether it is a business, whatsoever commercial, I read posters. Now, this would help me in the long run. Anytime you ask me about anything, I can answer you. Oh God, I do that a lot, and honestly, it's been helping me. It helps me to be spontaneous. So now you can ask me now to talk about something. Now I can tell you anything now. Like, there is like, you can tell me to talk about a book, or talk about the current situation in Nigeria in 30 seconds. Man, it is because it's in my mind, I'll tell you. I get to me. If it is not in my mind, I cannot bring it out from my box. So you need to know a bit of everything. I get to me. And I'm not saying you must know everything about politics or know everything about sport, but you need to know all these things. For example, you get into a conversation and they ask you about Messi and you don't know who is Messi. For goodness sake, why wouldn't you know who is Messi? Why wouldn't you know who is Cristiano Ronaldo? And they get to a point, so many things that you become that will help you to become spontaneous. So always know a bit of everything in anything. I get to me. Okay, so now I've been telling you so many things, and I think these things will help you to become who you really want to be. And it would help you to face situations and know what to say. So whenever you come on stage or whenever you come on air and you do not, there are some things that you never expected to happen and it happened, you know what to say. Okay? You know what to say. Now, another thing that I would help you with is this. And it's very simple. This one is the law of influence. The law of influence. The law of influence is going to help you as a speaker. How to influence people with your words. You need to know the law. so that you know how to influence people with your word. Now, I've got to understand that influence the law of influence states that a person is controlled by a higher force than him. So if I am going to control whatever you're saying, or going to control what is in your mind, it must have been that I have more knowledge than you. Are you getting me? So I can only influence you if I have more knowledge about a particular thing than you. So you can see me, I teach people about public speaking, I teach people about exceptional presentations, how to be a good presenter and all that. The only reason why I can actually make you become that way, or become a good presenter, because I have more knowledge than you. I know the acts, I know all that has to do with presentation and public speaking. I know most, not all, but most of the things that has to do with public speaking and presentation. And that is one way I can. Okay, I can attract you with my voice, but what makes you stay with me is what actually comes out. Like if you stay with me for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, what are you learning? And I think since I started this webinar, since I started this session, I am certain that you have learned something. That you have. If I close this thing, I know you have gotten something from this webinar. Okay, so that is influence. Now, so we got to understand that people can only get influenced by your words if your words are intelligent, are backed up with proofs, your words are made powerful by the wisdom and impact in the words or statement. Now, when this I'm talking about a positive angle. Now imagine a bad person. You know the way people get influenced. You know what they call peer influence. You know how people get influenced? It is because of I know more about that topic than you. That is the only thing. So the only way to get to influence people in your space, to influence your friends, to influence people around you, is to know more about them. Now, you can see why I said, going back to the case of spontaneity, that you need to know a bit of everything in everything. Now, they will say you overknow, but let me tell you, it will help you to even build confidence in speech. Because if you face a situation where you don't know what to say, at least what you knew will help you. I get me. What you knew will help you. Okay? So, now, in case you don't know this, I've never told you, I never studied mass communication in school. I studied physical health education. So, all this I'm telling you was as a result that I engage myself with other kind of learning. And that is what I want you to do. And that's what I'm trying to help you to do tonight. That you will be able to know these things, so that these things will help you. That you'll be able to know these things. That you'll be able to influence people with your words. People will influence, when you come on stage, let people get intrigued by the way you make your statement, by the way you talk. They might get attracted by your voice, but what makes them stay is what comes out of their mouth. I get to me. So I'm still saying it over again so that you will know these things. Okay. So very shortly, I'm going to be saying a bye-bye to this webinar. Because I know you're going to learn, you've learned a lot on the 30 minutes. But now let me say this. Now, this is a part people actually used to ask me, and I'm going to teach you this, how to handle stage fright. Now, it's very simple. Although in my 6 weeks masterclass, I teach people I held them by the hand to handle this. And you discover that most of them, after 6 weeks, they become they know, like, stage fright is not their problem again. Like, their problem might be what to actually say. I get me. Or their problem is not even what to say, but where to actually talk. I get me. Their problem because where do I now talk? I get me. But it's even a good problem, because at the end of the day, I still teach people where to actually make your first presentation, and people will commend you. Okay, so that's that. So how do I handle stage fright? It's one big issue that we have in the world. People, they tell them to talk about something and they don't know how to say it. They don't know how to present it. They don't know how to talk about that thing. This is one of the things I'm going to be teaching you now. And this is important because for people to